All right, another quick little demo. I'm going to do cook some steaks in a frying pan. I prefer to oil the steak and not the pan. So I'm just going to coat it with a little bit of oil. Just a couple drops of water. So we got a good sizzle there, but I'm hoping it's sort of just starting to bead, and that's the temperature I want. It's really good for searing beef. So put another splash of water in there. So it's just starting to bead. I think we're probably okay there for these steaks. So now what is important, and these guys are pretty good because they're the same height, but if they weren't, I could either squish them sideways or I could squish them down so that they're about even this way. That way they'll cook at the same time. Okay, so that's been about 30 or 40 seconds. I've turned the heat down a touch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them, and what I don't want to do is flip them onto the same spot because this part of the pan here is hotter than where the steak is, and I want that heat again. So I'm going to flip onto an empty spot, and I've got some nice dark brown there. Steaks like beef needs a nice dark sear, right? That Maillard reaction is really important with beef. What I'm not going to do is sear the sides because what we want is to cook from the top and the bottom until we get that medium rare middle. And if we cook the sides, then we're going to be reducing the amount of medium rare there is in general. So we definitely don't want to sear the sides. So we're nice and brown there. So I'm going to turn the heat quite a bit down, and now I'm going to add some butter. Classic way to cook a steak. If I had some rosemary and thyme, I would throw it in there, but I don't. But I do have some sage, so I'll use that. And then now the idea with the butter is if I ladle it over top here, then the heat from the butter is going to cook from the top down, and the heat from the pan is going to cook from the bottom up. So I'm basically just going to keep going like that. I've turned the heat down now all the way to low, and the idea there is so that I want to cook this as slow as I can now. In no hurry. I want to have more of it be medium rare, so I'm just going to keep doing this. I'll flip it part way, and then I'll keep going on the other side for a little while. It's been about 5 minutes, and maybe more like 10 minutes actually. And I'm feeling pretty close. So now I'm going to take the temperature. If I was doing this every day, I would certainly be able to tell more accurately just by feeling. So I'm going to use a thermometer. And what you want to do is poke it in the middle. We want to get the middle temperature of that steak, not anywhere towards the end. I'm looking for medium rare, so medium rare is 52 Celsius or 125 Fahrenheit. It's pretty darn close. It's 115 right now, so we'll give it another minute, and then I'm going to remove it, and then we'll just make a little sauce in the pan here. There's too much butter in the pan to make a sauce with all this butter, so I'm going to take the butter out and save it. And use it on the vegetables. We've reached our internal temperature now. It's about 120. It'll rest up to 125 pretty confidently. And so I'm going to take them, put them onto a clean plate, and I'm going to pour the butter into a dish. I'll use that for my asparagus. I'll leave a little bit in there. Turn the heat back up a bit. Here's some shallots. And I'm going to go with a good amount of black pepper. Got a nice roasty potato here. Made that just basically potato, salt, pepper, and then squeeze the liquid out of it, put it into a hot pan, and then just sort of keep pressing it down to form a nice crust, and then flip it, and then continue on the other side until it's cooked all the way through. Alright, shallots are almost soft. You could deglaze this now with wine or brandy. I don't have a wine open right now, but I do have some bourbon, so that's what I'm going to use. So I didn't get the flame last time, so I'm going to do it this time. And I've got a little bit of sauce made here. And I thought just for fun I'd just add a touch of cream to it. So bourbon and cream, lovely. Okay, here's my theory on flambe. I don't think flambe actually contributes to the flavor of the sauce, and I don't believe that it reduces the alcohol content in the sauce at all. It doesn't burn off the alcohol. I think that's a myth. And the reason I think that is because alcohol does not ignite until it's a gas. And if it's a gas, it's already out of the dish. It's above the dish. That's what catches on fire. So it really doesn't reduce. Flaming it, boiling it are really about the same thing. So the flame, there's nothing wrong with doing it. I like to do it. That's why I'm a cook. I like to do fun things. Flame is for us. If you're doing a table side, it makes total sense to do a flambe because it's show. But otherwise, it could just be for us in the kitchen. Why not? All right. Beef tenderloin. Cognac sauce, or sorry, bourbon sauce. Add a little bit of parsley to it, because why not? Voila.